going on, HPP fam? Good morning. Ain't nothing like starting the day off with a little Hemi chop. So this 2020 5.7 that we just finished up, going out on a test drive, and it's going back to its owner this morning. And we are wrapping up things on the Civic. Got the new alternator put on it. And then the last thing that we got going on underneath it is some lights. We had a couple of vehicles drop off this morning. Had a 2020 Mustang GT, a black one, come in. It's getting some exterior modifications. You guys will see that car soon. Let's get after it. So guys, I went ahead and pulled in our 2020 Mustang that we're about to do a bunch of exterior stuff to. So I'll do a quick walk around of the car. I'll show you what it looks like when it's all wrapped up. So to show you guys real quick, got the fog lamps in. Those light up blue, those look pretty cool. And then we also have John's phones for sale. Hit us up, you need a cell phone. Don't know how well you'd be able to see them, but John got the undercarriage lights installed, so as you can see, all the way around, she's got a nice little glow. Woo! So all that turned out great. So this one is wrapped up. We're gonna pull this out and get it on back to the customer. Alright guys, so we got our 2020 wrapped up. John's about to fire it up and pull it forward. Now I'll give you guys a little walk around of what all we did, and I'll point it out as we get to it. So as you can see, we got our front splitter all wrapped up. See, we've got our side louvers, back louver, little side pieces. Third brake light with the reverse light. And that's it. This Mustang is all wrapped up. Sorry guys, I did not film. Yesterday was crazy. I did not film the Mustang that you see me do the 19 intake manifold swap on. We tuned that car a while back, changed the manifold. I did make a couple of pulls on the dyno, just checking things over, made a few tuning changes. We ended up picking up some more power with that intake. I think that car finished out at 469 horsepower. I don't remember the torque. We've got the engine out of baby at the machine shop, getting new piston rings and bearings and such put in. What was that? And we got a bunch of vehicles going home. We've been knocking them out this week. So finally, our 64 wagon is being picked up today. We did, just to recap this car, we did electronic cutouts, we did a Circle D torque converter, we tuned it, we repaired, added a window switch, you know, a nitrous outlet WinMax controller for the nitrous. Got the nitrous all working, bottles filled. Just did a bunch of tidying, put some LS3 valve covers on it, crankcase ventilation, the Motion Raceworks steam port kit, a few other small things. She's going home. Intake manifold swap, retune. It's going home. C5 Corvette. Had a problem with the column lock doodad / the pull the key, wait 5 seconds. Vehicle wouldn't go over 3 miles an hour. If you guys know, you know. BCM problem. We put an LMC5 in the BCM and cured all those issues. Car's good to go. Runs and drives great. C10 with the small block in it. Tidied up a alternator charging system issue. Put a brand new AC compressor on it. Got that joker all situated. It's going home today. 2014 Shaker Challenger. This is Derek's car. Came in yesterday. We put a new rear end in it. And just kind of went over the suspension on the car while we were back there. That one's all wrapped up and going home. So definitely banged them out this week. Plus you've seen the Civic that we did. And I'm sure there's some other cars I missed. Let's see what else we can try to get accomplished today. As we keep moving forward with some of our projects, our LS Swap Ram is back in the shop this it's a little bit before lunch, so it's not quite the afternoon yet. But our custom drive shaft has arrived. So this is a 5-inch aluminum, Dodge on the back end, LS on the front end. And here's where we ordered the shaft from. Action Machine. Here's all their contact info if you guys need any custom drive shafts made. Hit these boys up. Very nice piece. So let's go ahead and get this in the truck. As you can see, I'm sweating my ass off. It's a hot one today, boys. We've got some new ones in the shop this week. Some interesting ones. So this one just got dropped off. Don't know what year it is, but you know it's a 3V body style Mustang. It is getting a Coyote in it. So the motor and trans is in, and we're gonna finish everything else up on this thing. Coolant system, fuel system, get it running and driving, and should be a pretty quick car with the Coyote engine in it. Aside from that, LJ's truck is back from ATS Diesel with the new trans in it, and we are chasing some gremlins. Trans temp sensor wasn't working. Bought a new sensor, wired it up. Trans temp is now working. As you see, this one's an oddball one too. We actually built this car before we started doing this truck before I started doing YouTube, really. So this is an 03 Dodge Ram 1500 that we have since swapped in a 6.1 that has been stroked out, forged to a 6.4 liter Hemi with a Whipple supercharger. Really cool swap we did many years ago. And you know, as you can see, custom intake, heat exchanger setup. It's got gauges. Cool little truck. Can't figure out exactly which one. We changed the main GT500 tensioner. Yes, there's a GT500 tensioner on this Hemi. We changed it out just because it was getting weak. It'd been on there for a very long time. We thought that was maybe it, but it wasn't. So we've got the two upper pulleys off the idler pulleys off the supercharger. Just basically going through and checking what pulleys feel grindy or so forth, because there's not one that's super just sticking out. So we'll put a new belt on it, put some new pulleys on it, and that should cure the issue. But anyways, the truck's been gone for a while. It's been at ATS Diesel because Clint over there does a phenomenal job. ATS does a great job with their diesel transmissions, and they stand behind their warranty. So they ended up picking this truck up, taking it up to their shop in Colorado, and they didn't quit until they got a trainee that would live in this thing. As far as power, I can't remember what it makes exactly. I want to say last time it was on the dyno, it made like 640 horsepower or something like that. So it's very stout for, you know, an 03 Ram. The stock tranny would not live at all. So we got a few things to address on this thing, and then maybe it might hit the dyno again. But I hope you guys will enjoy this, because it's one that you don't see often. As we move along with our Coyote and our 3-valve project, we've got our drive shaft in. Starting to get our 2 sensors in. We're just going through, tidying and fixing stuff. We've also got our belts on our engine now, and we are currently working out the coolant system. Once we get the coolant system ironed out, then we'll work on our control pack and start tidying up our vacuum lines. Focus on our fuel system, We have a tank over there with an upgraded fuel pump in it. We got to put a return line and a rising rate fuel pressure regulator. Then once those things are on, we'll go ahead and focus on trying to get this thing to fire up for the first time. In the meantime, got the 2014 Corvette that we did the camshaft in. It needs an AC compressor, so it is tore apart. John's got the AC compressor out, and unfortunately our local GM dealership dropped the ball on ordering our AC compressor, so now it's stuck on the lift for another day while we wait for a pump. Moving right along with our week, as you can see, we got LJ's truck on the dyno. We are trying to get through some issues, so we got all the sensors working and some other things with the vehicle. Figured out some of the AC stuff because it was custom. It never got finished when this project was built. We got the AC working now too. Took it out for a test drive and we had some transmission codes pop up and air fuels didn't look too hot. Looked a little lean. So went ahead and put this thing on the dyno. I'm gonna plug the computer in. We're gonna do some diagnostic on the dyno. As you can see, I've got a fuel system or a fuel pressure gauge on the motor. So we'll go ahead and fire this thing up and toy around with it on the dyno here a little bit and see what's going on with the fuel pressure. So guys, as you just seen, we made some pulls on the truck, and unfortunately we are dumping fuel pressure. At an idle it's staying at 60, and then when you romp on it, it's dropping all the way down to 38. Yee. So losing fuel pressure, definitely have a fuel delivery issue. So we're gonna look at a couple viable options, discuss them with LJ, and then we'll bring it back on the rolls and see what kind of power it makes with the fuel issue resolved. What's up, HPP fam? So as we wrap up this week on a Friday, we've got a cool one. I'm picking up the camera late in the afternoon. We've been doing some spring cleaning in the shop, which is great, even though it's summertime. I guess we're in the middle of spring. But anyways, this thing's pretty cool. I want to say a 1966 Chevrolet C10. It's got a 5.3, supposedly it's built. Got a small camshaft, got some headers on it, got a Pro Charger P1SC, got a Holley high ram with an intercooler brick in it. So I'll walk you guys around this thing real quick, show you the setup. Just got it running on speed density. We're on a 2-bar. We'll find out here shortly how many pounds of boost this thing will make with the pulley set up, and get this thing tuned out. Pretty sweet little truck. So now I got this thing running and idling, we'll go ahead and strap it down and get down to business. So guys, we got our first tug off on our C10. Unfortunately, I did not turn the camera on. I had to pull the spark plugs on this thing and gap them down. Unfortunately, we found one spark plug that had a small hairline crack in it, so we got that one replaced and fired it up, and I wanted to make a pull just so I could see if it pulled clean, and it did. So this is what we're starting with. I gotta look through the log and see how many pounds of boost that was, but 452 and 447 torque is what we are starting with on this thing. Super fat air fuel 10.0. So let's go into the computer, start dialing in some changes, and I'll be sure to get this next pull for you guys. So that was another clean tug. Picked up about 50 horsepower there between runs. That one's 502. It looks like we're spinning because it's catching up top here. So I may cut this session short. I am here on a Saturday, and that's because I wanted to get those plugs done and I wanted to make a clean run. Truck didn't get on the dyno until late in the afternoon, and customer lives 4 hours away, and they're coming on Monday to pick it up. So I didn't want to fall behind if we ran into any other issues with the truck. I want to make sure I could get them resolved beforehand. So, but that's good. 50 horse between runs. I'll take that. I might try to put a little sticky on the tire. Try to pull it back a little bit more. It is a truck. No weight on the rear end. So we'll see about doing that. But let me look through the file here, the run that we just made, make some more changes, load them up, and we'll make one more run before we go today. She was making some stink that time. About 14 and a half degrees of timing, 7 pounds of boost. Ooh, we getting there, baby. I think we're pretty close too, but 634 horsepower, 570 foot-pounds of torque. This little pickup's gonna do some burnouts, let me tell you. So guys, that's going to be the last pull on this Joker. Let me show you where it ended up at. .673 horsepower, 585 foot-pounds of torque. She's a mean mamma jamma. So I'm going to rip this thing out the dyno, take it for a drive.